Good weather. Happy time of fall. October, pretty place to be.
Well, Coach, your guys appeared to have had a pretty good week last week. I mean, after you graded the film, what were your impressions?
Not bad. Hit some big plays. Still not executing as high as they can. You know, still room to improve. Still more consistency to be gained. But a decent group, and they're doing some good things. But still can get better. Need to get better.
Seen some more Justin Robinson, obviously, the last couple of weeks. What have you thought of how he's kind of stepped into that role?
Well, he's always been I tell him he's my best looking receiver. He's a guy, consistency and just everything he's got to do. He's made some plays, done some good things, and he still has a couple sloppy plays away from the ball, so he can be a better player. And unfortunately, sometimes the better you look, sometimes the expectation is higher for you. So the standard I kind of hold him to is higher than somebody who doesn't look as good as him. And he can play better. He can live up a little better to that. So I'm going to constantly press him to see how good of a player he can be. Hopefully he can play as good as he looks one day.
You talk a lot about, and all the coaches do, about competition brings out the best in guys. And obviously you got competition each week, regardless of what you did on Saturday. Obviously you got a tough job, but how much easier does that make your job?
It's really good. And again, I grade my guys. I play 4 guys throughout the early parts of the game, hopefully. And whoever grades out better starts next week. So they compete pretty good through all that stuff, and I got little stats and little charts and little numbers that I hold them to. But yeah, and they know if they have a bad play, like the one that ducked and fumbled that play, he was in there one snap and he was out, and Justin Robinson was in the next one. So yeah, we're held accountable to a high standard, and it's awfully nice to know that you got another guy that can go in there and play and be comfortable playing if a guy's not playing as well as he can play.
How's Xavier coming along from the offensive standpoint?
Doing well. He and Jordan Mosley went in there and had 2 good catches last week. So both those guys are good players, and that's a good problem to have. And those guys, when they get their opportunity to play, I think they'll be ready to go.
Is Dort outside?
He's an inside guy.
Inside.
Mojo.
What are your thoughts about? I'm sorry. What are your thoughts about Kentucky so far?
They're a good team, and this will be a tough game on the road at night in the SEC. Is always a challenge, and we got to be ready to play. They've had some plays here and there that weren't really typical of a Kentucky defense sometimes, but they're a good team. They know how to play, and they're tough on defense, and we're expecting a good battle, and we know we got to execute at a high level to go beat these guys.
From the sacks numbers, it doesn't seem like they get too much pressure. I guess what do they do to still have one of the better passing defenses?
Well, they don't blitz a lot. I think it's one of the reasons they may not have a ton. I don't keep up with that as much, but they'll be sound in what they do. We expect them to play kind of similar to what they did last year, which was, they had us 10-0 for most of that first half, it seemed like. So we'll have to, find holes and throw completions and hit the open ground where we have it.
Through 6 games, only one team has thrown for 200-plus yards against them. I mean, you look at what they do in the secondary. I mean, how have they been so successful in pass defense?
They cover well, and they drop some guys and squeeze them down, and they do a good job. I don't know how many teams they've played that really try to throw the ball a whole lot, but yeah, they've been good. So we keep an eye on what they do, but whoever else is throwing on them, we don't particularly care too much about that. We watched more of our game from last year, honestly, than Florida or Ole Miss. Ole Miss does some good things, but they go so fast that it kind of changes up what you're going to see. So we got a good feeling on what we're going to see this week.
When a guy is throwing as confidently as Will is, making the decisions he does, how much freedom does that give you to maybe push the limits and try different things with your receivers, either outside or inside guys?
Well, what we do is what we do. So there's no limits or no change on what we do now. How we call plays and being comfortable to get in some third down and manageable situations and being able to convert some good 4th downs allows you to play the game. So I know as the game's played and as the game's called, we feel good about what we're calling. But what we do is pretty specific to exactly what the play is called and what the defense gives us.